There's always something new at the Arlington Farmers Market, including a healthy concoction that will satisfy any sweet tooth.
Break a leg. Wow, we haven't said that in a long time. Live theater performances are returning to the stage.
And Yoga-nna like this one, a charity event that has people bending over backwards.
All that and more up next on ACMi News.
From McLennan Park to Spy Pond, from Poets Corner to the Mystic River, we have Arlington covered. We're your neighbors, a friend you can turn to. This is ACMi News.
Hello, Arlington, and welcome to ACMi News. I'm Jasper Zelmer.
And I'm Sophia Titus. The Delta variant is fueling an increase of positive COVID cases here in Massachusetts.
In places where there is a high risk of transmission, including towns in Middlesex County, people are being recommended to mask up while indoors, regardless of vaccination status.
ACMi News correspondent Toby Barrett has more details.
Welcome to August 2021, where the coronavirus pandemic still rages on. The Delta variant has taken the country, the Commonwealth, and the town of Arlington by storm. The CDC now says that Middlesex County is at substantial risk of spreading this deadly disease.
President Biden urges Americans to get vaccinated and approach the world with caution as the Delta variant spreads, he said in an August 3rd press conference.
That's because 165 million Americans are fully vaccinated, including 80% of the most vulnerable Americans, our seniors. The best line of defense against the Delta virus is the vaccine. It's as simple as that, period. The vaccine. I want to be crystal clear about what's happening in the country. We have a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Now, I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So here are the facts. If you're vaccinated, you are highly unlikely to get COVID-19. And even if you do, the chances are you won't show any symptoms.
Middlesex County has seen a 47% increase in positive cases over the past week, which now puts the county at substantial risk for transmission of the virus, according to the CDC. That means between 50 and 100 people per 100,000 tested come back positive, putting the positivity rate at 1.6%. Arlington residents are approaching the Delta variant with more caution.
Well, we're all vaccinated in our household, so we don't have a lot of anxiety about getting it, but we do have a friend who was vaccinated and got it, and he was able to spread it, so we don't want to spread it to, obviously kids can't get vaccinated, and there are people who are immunocompromised who, even if they are vaccinated, they don't know what their resistance is, so we just don't want to spread it.
I wouldn't say anxiety, but I've returned to a great deal more caution. I have a friend who caught the Delta variant despite being vaccinated, and while she suffered terribly, she didn't need to be hospitalized. So I'm just going to, be more cautious, return to a, more conservative approach to safety.
The CDC recommends that all counties in high or substantial risk for transmission categories to wear masks while indoors regardless of vaccination status. This measure is something that Arlingtonians can get behind.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to do to help bring the numbers down and protect vulnerable people, babies.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not thrilled about wearing masks, but I'll absolutely do it to,
Totally agree. I think anything that it's shown it could help and might as well do it to prevent.
As you can see, the mood amongst Arlingtonians has become much more cautious. For ACMi News, I'm Toby Barrett.
Thank you for your report, Toby. Town officials will continue to monitor COVID-19 cases in the state, regionally, and in Arlington for any updated guidance. They encourage residents who have not been vaccinated to get their vaccine and for everyone to be vigilant in assessing their risk when indoors or outdoors. Masks have been proven to work to reduce the spread of COVID-19 and are encouraged when indoors and/or when social distancing is not possible, said a town official.
Whether or not the new CDC recommendations will affect any planned activities here in Arlington is still unclear. However, one thing we don't have to worry about is our weekly farmers market. Alexandria Acosta gives us a mid-season update from the market.
I'm here at the Arlington Farmers Market for National Farmers Market Week, and it continues to be running smoothly, but we're here to see if new CDC recommendations would affect their current setup. The Arlington Farmers Market will continue following the honor system, which expects unvaccinated individuals to mask up despite new recommendation guidelines from the CDC. Since last year, they've been able to ease back on their restrictions and succeed through the pandemic.
It's been a really good season. It's nice to be back with the market being open, and people can come and come in any way they want, whereas last year it had to be a one-way street and we could only let in a certain number of people at a time, and we would have long lines. And this year people can come as they want. They do not have to wear masks, and our policy is that since it's outside and it's easy to socially distance, that we don't require people wearing a mask.
Farmers Market Manager Patsy Kramer gauged feedback from customers in regards to the new recommendations and reflects on how stricter guidelines affect the market.
Also last year, people weren't allowed to pick up their own produce and put it in a basket, and the vendors had to, which really slowed things up. And so this year, you can come and pick your own ears of corn, put them in a bag, and then go and get checked out. And now people, I think it's very much more their own personal level of comfort, if they feel more comfortable wearing a mask, because as you can see, there's a lot of people here.
Keeping her customers and vendors in mind, she's able to plan for possible regulations in the future.
If at some point they ask us to have everybody wear masks or enforce more social distancing, we certainly would do that.
For now, she is safely celebrating the success of the market.
So far, so good. So we just encourage people to come. Lots of good food here.
The market is expected to run until the end of October. Guidelines are subjected to change based on town and state guidance. But in the meantime, get yourself a treat. For ACMi News, I'm Alexandria Acacia.
Thank you, Alex. And while she was out there, she came across a new vendor that just launched a business. Let's send it back to her to find out more about this sweet new stand.
Root beer that could be good for you? That's what Ingrid Gallagher, owner of Gumption Elixir, is mixing up. Her homemade root-based concentrates will not only satisfy your sweet cravings, but also benefit your health.
For years I made elderflower cordial, which is really fun, and it's an old Irish recipe, and I sort of tweaked it to include different flowers and herbs that are really soothing, have nerve calming effects, like chamomile and lemon balm and lavender. So the Chillade syrup really does help you chill down. It helps cool you. It's like, oof, it's calming, and it's delicious.
Gallagher has been brewing what she calls roots beer syrup for years. She uses 9 essential roots in her elixirs and seals them in a bright bottle. It's a modified twist on old school medicinal sodas and also inspired by herbal healing.
I mean, when I was a little kid and I had a stomach ache, my grandmother would give me cola syrup. It's like, so a lot of the products have herbs and roots that are recognized in herbal medicine as doing something for you. But the main idea is that they're just really yummy. Like the roots beer is just delicious. People taste it and say, oh my God, it's like the real thing.
The brewer has also perfected immunity-boosting ingredients in her products. The elixirs are best known for making refreshing beverages or unique cocktails, as they attribute an herbal boost too.
One thing that's great about the farmers market is everyone has an idea. It's like, oh, I got your, ginger turmeric syrup, and I made this delicious thing. I put a little, I think one woman said mezcal she put in, and I was just like, wow, it's crazy. And the roots beer, people really like that with a little bourbon. So it can go lots of different ways.
And no ingredient goes to waste, even in her own brewing remains.
After I finish brewing, because I brew with all whole herbs and roots, and after I finish brewing, the brew bag is full of roots and herbs and stuff. And I, just for my own personal use, I make what I've been calling an after party tea. I just take the roots and I kind of reprocess them with more water, boil them with more water, and it makes tea from whatever syrup I have. So for years, I was a kind of nerd kid who always wanted to be in the woods looking for, I somehow always knew what plants and herbs you could eat or make tea with or whatever. I go camping, I'm the one who's making wintergreen tea and birch tea, and I just find that really fascinating.
Although the pandemic caused some setbacks, she continues to push forward in her business.
Well, I hope it doesn't backtrack too much, but I appreciate that it might. So again, it's kind of fluid for me. I think that once I have an online presence, I can sell online, and so if there's more of a lockdown, then that's something I'll focus on. It's definitely a fun process right now, and let's see what happens.
If you want to get your hands on these sweet elixirs, you can find them available at Arlington and Lexington's farmers markets. For ACMi News, I'm Alexandria Acacia.
It's been over a year since we've had live performances in Arlington, but our local community theater hopes to make a comeback to the stage. ACMi News correspondent Helen Frazier takes a look behind the curtain for an inside scoop of what's to come.
Over a year and a half ago, the COVID-19 pandemic caused theaters across the country to close their doors. From Broadway shows to local community performances, live theater was drastically altered. Now, after a year and a half of virtual performances, actors are finally stepping back on stage.
Everybody left. The costumes were left hanging on their hangers, and the props were still sitting on the table, and everybody's food was still in the green room. I mean, it was just, everybody had to have a mass exodus.
Judy Weinberg is president of the board at Arlington Friends of the Drama, the town's community theater. Like many theaters when COVID regulations caused them to close their doors, the Friends of the Drama were in the middle of a production.
I think like most actors, when the lockdown happened, had projects canceled, things that were lined up no longer happened, and that was really disappointing. And then I got kind of used to having like a new normal.
The new normal actor Vanessa Calantropo was referring to is the shift to online theater. Performances across the country were viewed from a laptop, either over Zoom or YouTube live streams. While not ideal, Judy said the live stream shows helped keep the theater alive during the pandemic.
That's how we got through, keeping our name out there, having the stage still being used. The actors were so happy to be here. There were small casts and everybody was masked and kept their distance. So we kept it safe, but we were able to at least have some activity.
Many theaters shifted to online performances in order to continue making art while remaining COVID safe. But after over a year of this, theaters are finally having actors grace their stages once again.
It was actually kind of exhilarating to get back up on a stage in front of people and to be auditioning in person.
Vanessa is acting in the Friends of the Drama's upcoming show, The All-Night Strut, which features a small 4-person cast.
We did that intentionally, so it's easy to mount if we get, mandates from the state that we have to, shut everything down. We would not have invested that much in terms of set and costumes, and so that was intentional.
Vanessa shared that while she's excited for shows to start happening again, she is a bit hesitant about these upcoming months.
I feel like every day there's something new that someone's talking about. Obviously, the Delta variant is concerning. I can't kind of keep waiting for them to say, "Oh, just kidding, we can't do it anymore." I hope that's not the case, but it's excitement mixed with a little apprehension.
Arlington Friends of the Drama's upcoming show, The All-Night Strut, opens October 7th and runs till the 17th. Proof of vaccination is required for indoor performances. For more information on their current season, please visit their website at afdtheater.org. For ACMi News, I'm Helen Frazier.
Thank you, Helen. Are you looking to stretch out your muscles and wallet? Then this outdoor yoga class might be of interest to you. Yoga Reaches Out is an organization that hosts pop-up yoga classes throughout New England to fundraise for Boston Children's Hospital and cancer research. One of Arlington's local yoga studios, Lotus, has chosen to lead one of these classes.
Beginners, experts, and everyone in between are invited to this all-level Vinyasa yoga class that will help guide you through an empowering 60-minute flow while also promoting Boston's Children's Hospital and their research. Lauren Feranga, owner of Lotus Yoga Studio, expressed her excitement for participating in this event.
And I'm just really excited to be able to share yoga and wellness in this way, support a good cause, and I'm always excited to take a class with Kimberly because she's just a really fun teacher with a great energy. Our studio just really loves to support communities, support people in need, and promote wellness and healing in any way that we can, whether that's raising funds for organizations that promote wellness and healing like Yoga Reaches Out, or just offering yoga free of charge to the communities.
Well,
You may have to bend over backwards for the class. You won't have to do so in order to donate to Boston Children's Hospital. The organization suggests a donation of $25 or more. Lauren encouraged everyone to come out regardless of your yoga experience level or donation size.
It's a donation-based outdoor yoga class. It's a very casual sort of thing. So if you're new to yoga and maybe hesitant to come because of that, just know that it's going to be super comfortable for all levels of yogi, and Kimberly is a wonderful teacher in that way. If you are maybe hesitant because you can't afford class, or you feel like you should be donating more, don't worry about it. Our goal with all of our community classes is just to share wellness and yoga and bring people together in that intention.
The Lotus Yoga Studio isn't only donating proceeds from Saturday's event. They're also taking proceeds from their weekly community classes and donating those as well. If you can't attend this pop-up class but still want to participate in this great cause, there are more opportunities through their regular weekly classes.
And although August 8th is like our specific BCH fundraiser class with Kimberly Fife, we are actually donating all of our community classes, which we do once a week. All the donations from that for the month will be going to Boston Children's Hospital.
The event will take place at Magnolia Park on August 8th from 12 to 1 p.m. The class will follow all current CDC guidelines. Bring your own mat, water, and any props you enjoy while practicing. Lauren is looking forward to seeing the turnout.
When you're outside, you do not have to wear your mask unless it makes you comfortable. And where we're located, there should be shade and there should be plenty of space. But feel free to take up as much space as you need to feel comfortable. Our goal always with our yoga classes, whether it's how you're approaching your pose or how you're coming into class, is just take it at your pace, your level. So our goal is to just spread health and wellness, and the donations go to the organizations we support and whatever programming or purposes are best for the families that they serve.
The smallest of donations can bring life-saving answers, hope, and healing to sick kids and families at Boston Children's Hospital and beyond.
Taking a break from patrolling to playing ball, the Arlington Police Department participated in National Night Out. Our senior news producer, Aneem Osmani, attended the event to bring us some highlights.
Tuesday, August 3rd was National Night Out, a day when police departments across the nation host events that help nurture a positive police-community relationship.
It's so important for us to have really good relationships and partnerships with our community members and our residents. It's great for the kids to know who the police officers are that are assigned to the areas that they live in and that they go to school in. And so this is a really great event to bring people out and just to build on these relationships. No agenda. If people have questions, our officers are here to answer their questions and just to have conversation.
National Night Out takes place on the first Tuesday of every August, a tradition that was set in 1984 to build community police awareness throughout thousands of communities across the United States. The Arlington Police Department generally holds a neighborhood cookout and sets up bouncy houses for kids at Monogamy Manor, but that couldn't be the case last year due to COVID-19. So they returned this year with kickball and ice cream.
It's a great event for us. Obviously we're here throughout the year at the schools with the children and get to know them, but to be able to come out here and have like a kickball game, and it's just a great opportunity, not only for them but for us. We love being out here talking with the parents, and obviously you can ask any police officer, it's our favorite aspect of the job.
It's just an opportunity for everybody to get out of the house and be with each other, especially after COVID being kept in the house for almost 2 years now. It's kind of crazy. So it's nice just seeing everybody, especially a lot of these kids are in Arlington Public Schools, and I see them during the year, and I haven't seen them since June, you know what I mean? So seeing all these kids' faces again and playing some kickball, and this is work for us, so it doesn't feel like it, but it's great.
An Arlington resident brought her grandchild to North Union Park to play some kickball with officers and other kids after she saw this event being tweeted by the Arlington Police Department.
I think the kids are really excited. I haven't seen this many kids down here in the park. Most of the summer, it's a little quiet. So it's nice to see more kids down here playing with the police officers and having a positive experience with the police officers.
After kickball, the APD shifted gears to running an ice cream for all shop at Robbins Farm Park.
One of the police officers came over to me at the table and he told me that they have ice pops and waters and things like that, and these kids love ice pops and ice cream and things of that nature. So I figured I would add that on to the end of the day. We're going to leave soon, so I figured I would kind of go and mix that in. We went to the aquarium today and they told me that this is the best day ever, which for me as their caregiver is such a good review, and this ice cream had a lot to do with it. So I'm super grateful for that.
Many community events were canceled last year, but the Arlington Police Department plans to not let that be the case this year. We can expect more events like these in the near future, possibly at the end of this month. For ACMi News, I'm Anim Osmani.
Thank you, Anim. That is all we have for today. Thank you for tuning into this week's newscast.
For the cast and crew of ACMi News, I'm Jasper Zelmer.
And I'm Sophia Titus. We'll see you next week.
You can always check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ACMi News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You'll find us at youtube.com/ACMi News. If you have any news tips for us or wish to become a citizen journalist, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by ACMI Studio A at 85 Park Avenue.